Okay, if you are here for the raw vegan Q&A, you're in the right place. So I did the same raw vegan Q&A yesterday. I forgot to put my microphone on, so I mean, I couldn't even hear myself when I tried to play it back. So I apologize for that, but hopefully you can hear me right now. Put your comments in the chat. The comments that I've written down that people have asked me over the years about a raw vegan diet since I've been eating this way, and I reversed my conditions. So I'll go over those questions and I'll answer them. And hopefully some of these questions, you have the same questions, right? So one of the questions that I get is, how long did it take to reverse your autoimmune conditions on a raw vegan diet? So it took me less than 6 weeks, and I wasn't even very strict. I had tofu almost every single day, half a like a little box of tofu. And the reason why I had the tofu, I just felt very, very hungry, and I felt like I needed more protein. I know that I think it's probably like a one of those mind games where we hear something for so many years and it gets stuck in our head like a loop. You got to eat more protein. But, and then after a while, I was like, I'm going to get rid of the protein. It was actually kind of bothering my stomach because I was eating so much. I was eating half of the cube of tofu with one of my salads. So it was too much, but I was air frying it, so it was pretty tasty. But yeah, less than 6 weeks. So the next question is, what were your autoimmune conditions that you reversed? So one of them was extreme sun sensitivity. I could not go outside for more than a few minutes if the sun was shining. So I couldn't lay out. I can do that now. I couldn't even go for a walk, even if I was wearing a hat and I was completely covered, because my skin would just start turning red. I would end up with this, what's called a butterfly rash. And it wasn't a rash, it just looked like I was flushed, like I was in the sun and I had a sunburn. It wasn't a sunburn. And then my fingers and my toes would swell, and my whole body just felt like it was on fire. I was just, the sun was just inflaming me, the heat and actually just the sunlight itself. So that is gone now, thank goodness. The other ones, I had type 1 diabetes antibodies, and I know that because I had a test to prove I had specific antibodies, and those antibodies were attacking my pancreatic beta cells, and I wanted those antibodies to stop to preserve as many beta cells as possible. So my doctor told me to do a raw vegan diet and follow Dr. Brooke Goldner's protocol to save as many beta cells as possible. So I didn't even know about Dr. Brooke Goldner's protocol until he told me to follow it. And I did not follow it exactly, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so anyways, so the antibodies, uh, I had the test 6 months after I started the raw vegan diet, and I followed it for 6 months. Pretty good. Not 100%, maybe like 95% I followed it. And after the 6 months, I got the follow-up test. So the test before showed positive, and the test after 6 months of on this raw vegan diet showed negative antibodies. So that was the proof that I reversed type 1 diabetes antibodies. So I have had follow-up tests to show my insulin production, and it's gone up. So my doctor was just shocked. That's in the new doctor I'm talking about that ordered the new test and looked at those test results. He was shocked. So that's pretty nice. So the other thing I reversed is erythromelalgia. That's just the extreme swelling in my fingers and my toes. And yeah, so those are the ones that I had that have a name for it. I had other issues as well, but and I had hair loss, so hair grew back. Yeah. So Let me look at the other list. Okay, so I get this a lot. So the people say, "Oh, wait, you reversed the type 1 diabetes antibodies. So does that mean you reversed type 1 diabetes?" Unfortunately, no, because type 1 diabetes means that your body does not produce enough insulin and that you have to take insulin. Otherwise, you're going to end up in trouble. High blood sugar all the time, severe damage. So technically, I'm still a type 1 diabetic because I still have to take insulin injections. Although what I take is a lot less than what most people take because I eat a very healthy diet. How long did it take to reverse the type 1 diabetes antibodies? So I don't know exactly how long it took. It might have taken less than 6 weeks, but because I took the 6 months from the start date to the 6-month period, it might have taken 6 weeks or up to 6 months. So no more than 6 months on the raw vegan diet. Next question, how do you gain weight on a raw vegan diet? So what I've found and what I've seen is that when a person starts a raw vegan diet that is specific for health reasons, so you're not eating a whole bunch of nuts or anything like that. It's specifically to improve your health, that initially you're going to lose a lot of weight. Your body is getting rid of the excess fat, excess toxins. So initially you're going to lose most likely a lot of weight if you're doing it right. And I got down to 92 pounds, and that's just too low for me. I'm tiny. I'm only 5 feet tall, and right now I'm 102. And so actually, I'd like to lose a couple pounds right now, but yeah, 92 is just a little too low. Yeah, that's a 10-pound difference. But I was able to get back up to 97 eating the raw vegan diet. It just took a while, not too long. And I just say to people, if you start losing weight initially and you're freaking out because you're super thin, stop freaking out. You're gonna gain the weight back. And most people don't realize that their idea of too skinny is actually a healthy weight. Everyone around us, I shouldn't say everybody, but it seems like everyone, so many people around us are overweight. So when we start getting thin, they start getting threatened and they don't like you looking thin. It makes them look fatter and then it makes them think, well, maybe I should do that diet. I don't want to do that diet. So then they start giving you grief about being too thin, but you're not. I even asked people, hey, am I too thin? I don't ask an overweight person that. Ask your doctor. Ask someone who's really fit and lean at the gym. And that's what I did. I asked some really attractive people at the gym, hey, I've been doing this diet. Do you guys think I'm too thin? And what I got from these people, and at that time I think I was even 94 pounds, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you look great. Look better than you ever have." And I was shocked. I felt too skinny myself. But you're definitely going to gain the weight back if you want. If you want to gain it back, maybe not all the weight, because you don't want to gain unhealthy weight, but you will gain the weight back. And on the flip side, you can absolutely lose weight on a raw vegan diet. It just depends on what type of raw vegan diet you're eating. Are you eating a whole bunch of nuts and seeds like I did a long time ago? Then those are very calorically dense and too much omega-6 fats, which are inflammatory. Okay, the next question I get over and over and over again is, do you drink green smoothies? So the answer is no. I did I do not drink green smoothies, and when I was doing my raw vegan detox diet, I also did not drink green smoothies. I tried. It didn't work. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just too much nutrition and I was trying to get it down at once. I tried the green smoothies where I was trying to drink it slower, and I didn't like the taste. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it. But yeah, I did a pound of greens, and then I filled most of it up with water, and I added a bunch of bananas and mango, pineapple. I tried all different fruits. I hated all the combinations I could think of. I tried Dr. Brooke Goldner's recipes. I tried other people's recipes. I don't like green smoothies. It just tastes like grass to me. It's just, I like my smoothie sweet. So I only, and then the other thing is I ended up throwing up from drinking them each time. And then I even tried smaller smoothie portions. Like what mean is smaller portions of greens, and it always made me nauseous. The maximum amount of greens that I can put in my smoothies without having my stomach flip is about a handful. And then I still don't like it. So I want to like my food. So green smoothies, you don't need to have a green smoothie ever on a raw vegan diet unless you want it and you like it. They're not necessary. So the other question is, what did you eat every day to get your reversal of your symptoms? So instead of green smoothies, I made green salads, big salads, and I tried all different types of greens and combinations until I found ones that I enjoy, that I like. And I found that I do not like spinach. I don't like greens that are leafy. I like crisp and crunchy. So you just got to figure out what type of greens you like, pick a couple, and then you can combine them. So what I ate every day, every morning, I would have a fruit smoothie, a bunch of fruit, almond milk. Sometimes I would add cacao powder, raw cacao powder, blend it all up. And I did eat frozen bananas because it would just be gross otherwise. So that was my nice cold fruit smoothie in the morning. For lunch, I would have a salad with fruit, and oh, I would eat the flax seeds too. So that was my fat. I had avocado. And then for lunch, I'm sorry, that was lunch. Lunch was the salad. And dinner, typically I would make some sort of wrap. And I have a couple wrap recipes on this channel, which is plant-based, Nina's plant-based vegan recipe. So I have a whole bunch of the raw vegan recipes that I was eating to reverse my autoimmune conditions on this channel. So you could check those out and try them. And the next question, did you eat flax or chia, and how much? So I tried chia seeds, and I think chia seeds are super tasty. I would do like puddings. I would put the chia in my smoothies. And unfortunately, my body was like, no, it's not working. It, for some reason, whenever I had the chia, it just felt like I was tasting it all day long. And it had, for me, my body was like, it tasted like fish. Like it had a little fishiness to it. And I thought, well, maybe it's spoiled. And I got a different brand. I tried different types. I tried, you know, at different stores, and the same issue occurred every time I tried chia seeds. No matter how good I flossed my teeth and brushed my teeth and scraped my tongue, I still tasted that fishy chia taste. It was yucky. So even though I like how nice and thick they are and the consistency and my smoothies and puddings, the fishiness, and I'm not alone. Other people have told me the same thing, that they kind of have that fishy aftertaste from chia seeds. So I switched to flax seeds. And yes, I did grind my chia seeds. So yeah, flax seeds. So I would put flax seeds in my smoothie, and then I would make a little like a flax cookie for dinner, and then I would sometimes just grind up some flax seeds and add some salt and just kinda eat it with a spoon and add, like, different types of herbs to it just to make it, like, a little bit tastier. And, yeah, so and I would have depending on how hungry I would have between a half of a cup and usually 3/4 of a cup. If I was still very, very hungry, I would have up to 1 cup of flax seeds, but I would divvy it up throughout the day, so it wasn't a whole bunch. But a cup was, yeah, a bit too much. Okay, next question. How long did you eat a raw vegan diet? So I was eating a raw vegan diet for 3 years, and even though I got remission of my symptoms within less than 6 weeks, I decided to continue because I still didn't feel quite right. You know when you don't feel like you're 100% or even 90% and you can't really pinpoint what it is, you just don't feel right? And for like I would try eating like a really delicious baked dish with potatoes. And I wasn't eating any animal products whatsoever. It was, just like potatoes or maybe a tortilla that was baked in the oven with some beans in it. I wasn't enjoying the food for some reason. Like it tasted good, but I couldn't enjoy it. And that's why I knew I had to continue with it until I felt uh, I healed. I healed enough. And so for me, it took 3 years, but I did cheat in between. So I would have like a chocolate chip vegan cookie and I would eat more fruit and stuff like that. So I did do things that were off plan. But yeah, for 3 years. And so for instance, like I would eat really strict raw vegan for 2 weeks, and then I would have a couple of meals that had, tofu or some cooked soup in it, and then I would go back. And then I would be really good for a month, and then I would have like 1 or 2 meals, and then I would go back. But overall, 3 years. And then the next question, did you follow Brooke Goldner's diet exactly? No, I didn't. I did not. I ate more fruit than she recommends. And why? Because I was going to go crazy. I am not a savory eater. I don't like all my foods to be savory. I like sweet. I crave sweets. So more fruit worked better for me. Next question, was a raw vegan diet hard for you? It's interesting. A lot of people seem to think, oh, well, it was easy for you. No, no, no. It was really, really hard for me. Even though I was vegan, and I still am, before I went and started the raw vegan diet, it was tough. I didn't even wanna do it at all. I like cooked foods. So it was really hard for me, and it wasn't just cravings. I was hungry. I did feel like I needed more protein, although when I plugged in the macros and into an app like Chronometer, my macros were fine. They were a little low. It was like 42 grams of protein because those flax seeds have a decent amount of protein in it. But I think it was also a mindset thing. But it was tough. And next question is, why do you have 2 diet books? So that's a really good question. So I have 2 diet books. One is the High Five Diet, and the other one I just published a few weeks ago is called Raw Vegan Diet. I'm sorry, Raw Vegan Guide and Recipes. So the Raw Vegan Guide and Recipe book that I just published, it's in paperback form. And it's also available on Kindle. And that one talks about what I ate. how I did it, and the rules, the raw vegan diet rules that people get wrong all the time and can really mess up your health and prevent you from healing. So, when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes about 19 years ago, I did find that people were saying, hey, a raw vegan diet can reverse diabetes, but I did it wrong. And I was not eating salads and I was eating a lot of dehydrated foods. I was putting agave, which is a sweet syrup, in everything. I was eating a ton of coconut. I was gaining weight. I felt terrible. My stomach hurt. So there are do's and don'ts. So that's in the book, and I make it very, very easy. And I have all my recipes that I ate on that diet, and these are yummy ones. They weren't the yucky ones. These are my favorite raw vegan recipes. So you can check that out. And that's on my website. And my website is thehigh5diet.com. So it's the and then like high five, HIGHFIVE diet.com. And the other book is The High Five Diet. And that's a book that I wrote back in 2016. And initially, that was a dairy free diet and how to go dairy free and how to read food labels and how to get all the toxins out of your cosmetics and the foods that other foods, stuff like that. So, and then back in 2020, I I changed the book and I made it a vegan book. And so that book is for people who want to lower cholesterol, reverse type 2 diabetes, reverse their chances of heart attack or stroke, and eating a plant based diet, and why a vegan diet is really healthy. And it's also for people who don't want to go raw, but they have medical conditions that they want to reverse. And sometimes you can reverse autoimmune conditions with a vegan diet. That's a cooked diet where everything is cooked. Obviously, salads are awesome, but some people can get complete reversal on a cooked vegan diet. So if someone is not ready to go raw, start that. Try that. See if that works. If that doesn't work, then you can move up the ladder, so to speak, to the raw vegan guide. But if somebody wants to just even just do a detox, the raw vegan guide with the recipes that I have in there is really a great way to go quickly to recover. And so both of those books, they're both in paperback and they're both available in Kindle. But I typically tell people get the paperback book because then you could have it at home. You can flip through it anytime you want. You can fold the pages. And this one woman who bought my book, and she highlighted almost every single page, which I thought was super cute. Okay, how many recipes are in the raw vegan guide? There are over 50 recipes in there. The next question, are the recipes all high in fat? So in the raw vegan diet guide, I have high fat and high carbohydrate recipes. So you have your choice. So the high carbohydrate would be maybe if you're following the 80-10-10 program, and the ones that are high fat, that would be more towards Dr. Goldner's protocol. Now, I ate both. I didn't just eat one meal that was, all high in fat. So you have options depending on which way you want to take your diet. And the next question, are you vegan? Yes, yes. I am a plant-based vegan, and I'm vegan in every sense of the term. So I really care about animals. I won't even buy a leather belt. I won't even buy, you know, wool carpet. I really care about animals more than ever now that I've learned what happens to them. So I'm not going to eat them. I'm not going to do anything that I know is, gonna hurt them. Even if they were already dead, I'm not going to endorse or pay for products that have harmed animals. So yeah, I'm vegan forever, and I'm really happy. The next question was, when did you go vegan? I went vegan in 2020, so that was a little over 5 years ago. And the next question, why did you go vegan? So I went vegan, and my husband did too, after we watched the movie The Game Changers. I just found, and so did he, the information they presented to be extremely compelling. And when I learned that you can get stronger and recover faster and be healthier and have eat more than just salad, I was totally on board. So I just wish that I'd been vegan forever, because I don't think I would have had any of these issues if I was vegan from the very beginning. Okay, next question. What diet do you eat now? So, I eat a vegan diet, but I no longer eat a raw vegan diet, but I do eat a high raw vegan diet. And what that means is most of the bulk of my food is raw. So for breakfast, I have a fruit smoothie. And for lunch, I have a salad with fruit. The difference now is I will add a half a cup of beans to my salad. And then for dinner, I will have something cooked. I will have like like bean tacos. I will have a corn and potato soup. I will have a bean chili. So that's what I eat now, and it's really working really well for me. The only thing is, I've found it's much easier to gain weight even with a little bit of cooked foods. Raw foods is easy to stay slim, but cooked foods, I don't know. I just think that's pretty interesting. Next question, what do you do if you have low iron? So one is you want to get at least one of the tests is a ferritin blood test. Ask your doctor for it so you can check your levels. And if it's low, you want to talk to your doctor to figure out if there's another reason why your iron levels are low. If you're a woman and you're menstruating, that could be why. Maybe get those blood tests at different times of the month, to see. But there could be internal bleeding. There could be a number of reasons. So make sure that it's not some serious health problem and it's just low iron. And if that's the case, you would just need to take an iron supplement, and make sure that when you get the looking for your supplements, you want to make sure a couple things. It's a respected brand, it's USP certified, the other ingredients are not problematic, and flavors and colorings and other ingredients, maybe other vitamins and minerals that you don't need, that if you took that iron supplement, you would get an overdose. For instance, many iron supplements have vitamin vitamin B12 in excessive amounts. So I've heard doctors say, it's okay if you get too much B12. Well, I know that's not true. One is, when I was taking the supplement of iron myself, it had so much B12 that my stores were over 1,000. And someone else that I knew, now I didn't feel bad from it, because it didn't keep going up because I realized that, but I know someone else who took a mega dose of B12, and she started feeling nauseous and she couldn't concentrate, and she felt like she was going to throw up, and she couldn't even function. And so she was like at home in bed, and she almost went to the hospital. And then she kind of figured it out. It was the B12. So you can overdo anything. So I definitely recommend getting blood tests. And if you need to take an iron supplement, take it. And I'm trying to think, I think I did I did recently a video, I think it's called fatigue, low fatigue, yeah, Fatigue, and I go over reasons in the supplement that I take. And I have other channels. I've got 3 YouTube channels. Right now, you're watching Nina's Plant-Based Vegan Recipes, another channel that I have on health, which is the fatigue video that I'm talking about. That one's called Nina's Nutrition and Wellness Videos. And if you need exercise, I have another video called Nina's Exercise Videos. All right, let's go back to the question. Next question. Can someone get better if they don't eat 100% vegan or 95% raw? So I'm going to just say maybe. Everybody's different. Some people can eat a little bit of chicken, a little bit of fish, and as long as they're eating, the rest of the raw fruits and vegetables and getting their seeds from chia or flax, they're able to fully reverse their autoimmune conditions, lower their blood sugar, reverse type 2 diabetes, but it's rare, very, very rare. So the reason why is because if you are eating highly processed foods, and meat and chicken and fish and eggs, actually, those are considered highly processed foods. I know it's kind of weird, but anyways, apparently that's the definition. That your body, if you have autoimmune, your body will see those foods as not food. It'll see it more like, oh, what is this? Is it a virus? It doesn't know what it is because it says that's not food, that's foreign. I'm going to create antibodies, I'm going to attack it. And then when you keep eating those foods, the body kind of goes berserk and it starts attacking your tissues or your organs or your eyes or, your cells. So just because someone else can eat ketogenic diet or whatever the heck they're eating doesn't mean you can. Actually, no one should eat that type of diet. But anyways, your body is more sensitive and maybe smarter. But yeah, so I would definitely say that just do a vegan diet, and then if you have autoimmune, do the raw vegan diet until you're well. All right, the next question. How much do you exercise, and did you exercise when you were sick and had all your autoimmune conditions? So the answer is yes to both. So even when I was in pain, I did exercises, but when my feet were swelling, I couldn't walk. So I would do floor exercises. I would I would do chest exercises. I would do shoulder exercises, and so I mean I couldn't do running. I couldn't do jumping or anything like that. So I just modified. I did what I could, and so I did exercise every single day. And I also lifted weights back then. I just didn't lift as heavy. So my goal, I decided back then when I was not well, that my goal is to get better and do everything I needed to do to get better. So my goal wasn't to gain strength. It was not to lose muscle. It was just to maintain. And for the most part, I did maintain. I did lose some muscle because I couldn't lift as heavy. But now that I'm well, my goal is to gain more muscle. And so I'm lifting a lot heavier. So I lift weights 5 days a week, and I walk every morning for 2.5 to 3+ miles. In the afternoon, I do a low impact cardio workout. So those are my exercises. So let's see what else. Okay, the salt question. Do you eat salt? If so, how much? So I never measured how much salt that I ate or that I eat. And so if you are eating a raw vegan diet, it's actually really, really important to add salt. Salt is an essential nutrient. And when you are eating raw vegan diet, you're probably not even getting enough calories. So even if you, you know, it's just almost impossible. And especially if you are exercising, you're going to sweat more. You sweat more, you lose more sodium. If it's a hot day, you're gonna lose more sodium. And when you're eating a raw vegan diet, you need to drink a lot of water. So you're gonna need some salt to balance out that all the water. So yeah, so eat salt. And again, I did not measure it, but Dr. Brooke Goldner says 1 teaspoon a day, and don't eat it all at once. Divvy it up. Okay. Oh, I like this one. What would you do differently if you had to eat a raw, vegan only diet again? So, what I would do differently is back then I was trying to eat a minimum of 1 pound of raw cruciferous vegetables a day. And then I would add other vegetables on top of it. And even though I'm small, apparently the doctors were saying, well, you still need to eat 1 pound. Regardless of how tall you are, how small you are, you need to eat a minimum of a pound. So what I misunderstood is it's a pound of raw vegetables a day. You don't need to eat 1 pound of raw cruciferous a day. So I was eating 1.5 to 2 pounds of raw vegetables a day. My stomach hurt. It felt terrible. I think what was going on is it was just too much raw vegetables for my digestive system, which was causing just maybe just I kind of want to say aggravation, but maybe. It was just too much. You can overdo anything. So if I had to do it again, I would eat my cruciferous vegetables, but just not so much, and just try to get a pound of raw vegetables. So raw vegetable is a carrot, celery, cucumber. So that's a raw vegetables. Yeah, those are raw vegetables. So yeah, I would not do the all cruciferous. So the cruciferous are always recommended because they have the most nutrients, but you don't need to do a pound of raw cruciferous. So that was a mistake a lot of people and myself were not aware of at the time. Now I know. And I think that's really important for people to know. There are people who have completely healed without eating any cruciferous vegetables. So that's pretty that's good to know. All right, next question. Do you have any certifications since you are a published author? I do. I am a certified personal trainer. I have a certification in fitness nutrition, and I'm a certified strength and fitness coach. And the next question is, do you offer coaching? I do. I offer coaching for weight loss. I offer coaching for the raw vegan diet, the questions, how to reverse it. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but I will tell you the information that is known and is true. And the other thing, oh, the coaching. Yeah, so, and about nutrition and weight training. So, exercise. So, you can go to my website, thehigh5diet.com, and there's this section that says schedule and it has all the types of coaching options, and it's very affordable, and you don't have to buy a big package or anything. And so you could see the pricing and the times and what type of options are available. So if you have any questions that I have not answered, please write them in the chat box. And I'm seeing if I could read any right now. Oh my goodness, there's lots of comments. So let me see. Let me get out my glasses. Oh, wonderful, Maya. So Maya had very aggressive MS by eating only raw foods in 6 months and it never returned. Oh my gosh, I'm about to cry. Thank you, Maya. Oof. So, oh, that's so good. I'm very emotional because my dad died of MS. And if I had known, I totally would have, um, had to meet this way. And that's why I want to share this with people because it makes me so sad that people are in so much pain. I was so in so much pain, and I'm so happy that I'm not anymore. And so I would share this. So thank you, Maya. Let's see. You're welcome, Mr. K. Aw, I love your channel's recipes and your videos are great. I have been plant-based. Tears go away. I have been plant-based for, um, I'd say 5 years. So ever since I was vegan, I was pretty much um, plant-based. Anyone else? Is it better to focus more on fruit or on veggies, especially as we age? This is Kaya Kate. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your age. They're both very, very important, but vegetables have the most nutrients. So that hope I answered that question. Let's see, any more? Let's see. Oh, hi. Switzerland, wonderful. Okay, so if you have any more questions, it's not letting me see any more than those. You can write to me. I'll respond back. And yeah, but most of the questions are going to be answered in my book, Raw Vegan Guide and Recipes. So thanks to everyone who's watching, and I really hope that everyone adopts a plant-based diet because I'm so saddened when I hear that someone has cancer and is ill and is in pain and is on medication. And it's really unfortunate that most people don't believe that this is an optimal diet and this will cure them for the most part, and it does. So anyways, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.